welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for clicking on today's video. If you're new here, my name's Olivia. I upload beauty, life and style videos over here weekly. Although it's quite ironic because I didn't post last week, but I am back this week. I have missed you guys so much. I know it's just been 1 week away, but it just feels like, you know, we've got this rhythm going now. So sorry about that, but I am back this week. I thought because we're all at home, and I usually don't look like this Monday to Friday or most days when I'm just kind of like working on the computer or the desk behind me. So we're all at home, perfect opportune time to kind of work on skincare and boost our skincare. I know a lot of people are really getting into skincare at the moment and trying to kind of figure out what works for them, what products should they use, how should they combine them. And the brand that has been on everyone's lips for a number of years, but I think particularly for people that are getting into skincare, is The Ordinary, because it has specific ingredients and products that are working for specific concerns. So it allows people to kind of pick and choose, but it can become a bit overwhelming because there's something for everything. Which one should I choose? Should I go for this product or this product? Which one would work best for me? I've personally been using The Ordinary for around 4 years now, and I've started off with like, you know, 1 or 2 of the products from the line, and then I've kind of like branched out as I kind of tried to understand a bit more about the ingredients and what I wanted for my skin. So I thought I would speak from an experience point of view, and that is, caveat, this is about my personal experience with skincare. It is very much a personal journey, and it does depend on how your skin reacts to the product. So I might like something, you may not. You may not like something, I may love it. And also just for background, I am an oily, acne prone skin type. So that's my skin type. I don't break out very often lately. But if my hormones go out of whack, then absolutely I can have a really horrific kind of breakout around here, all over my face basically. And that was actually the reason that I got into skincare so much a few years ago, because I had just this random period where my skin just erupted and it would not relax. Like nothing was working for it. I couldn't get it to get back to normal, and then I started to research a bit more. So this video is going to be a rundown of the Ordinary products that I have tried. I've tried a number, so I think I can give a fairly decent idea. And I'll kind of categorize them in the good, the ones I think I love and I would 100% recommend. The ones that are, yeah, somewhere here in the middle. I'm calling it the bad category, but it's not really bad. It just means that they were okay, but they didn't do me like a massive transformation. And then the last category I'm calling ugly. Like it just didn't work for me. Doesn't mean I wouldn't recommend it for other people, but it didn't work for me personally. So just bear that in mind again, that this is about my personal experience, how it went for me, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for you. So don't get put off by a product just because I say I don't like it. Do your research, ask questions, figure that out, and then just give it a try, because sometimes with these things you just have to try. Alright, so if you haven't already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, join the fam gang. It would be lovely to have you on board. Follow me over on IG if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm here with my notebook just to make sure that I don't miss any of the important information that I wanted to give you. So the first product is niacinamide, and it's a star ingredient at the moment. Everybody's talking about niacinamide, everybody wants to get their hands on it. And the Ordinary formulation is niacinamide with zinc. And it's basically supposed to be an anti-blemish formula, supposed to reduce the size of your pores, control sebum, get you together basically. And so because of course I have oily skin, I was like, great, this is it. I sometimes get blemishes. Yes, reduce the pores. Yes, handle the oil. Get this. So I was so excited, grabbed this product and was expecting it to do, you know, wonders for my skin. It really didn't do anything. But I think that was because I didn't have much of a skincare routine to begin with. My skincare routine consisted of some kind of a face wash, probably something that was too stripping, that was like acne, blemish, no oil, something. that was stripping my skin, and then I would use my simple moisturizer, which I still use to this day, and then the niacinamide. I don't think I was consistent in using it, and so I just didn't see much change. So I was just concluded that it was a product that didn't work for me. Fast forward to some point last year, I was like, oh, I'm hearing a lot about this product. So the hype wasn't really there back then for niacinamide, but it started kind of garnering attention, I think, in more publicly at some point last year, and everybody was talking about niacinamide. So I was like, do I give this a try again? And so I did. And this time around, I did see a difference. I saw reduction in oil, and I saw, I think, moderate reduction in terms of my pores, but it definitely did help to balance my skin and not have it be as oily as before. So I think it's a good product, and I would continue to recommend it to anybody that's looking for those kind of properties and those kinds of results on their skin. I wouldn't necessarily say it works best for dry skin, so maybe if you've got more normal to oily or combination skin, that's probably where you should be thinking about niacinamide. As time has gone on, and I've been very consistent with this product, I think I reached a personal kind of plateau, and I haven't managed to push past that plateau at the moment with niacinamide. So I still think there's more that I could get in terms of the pore refinement from niacinamide. I've come to the end of my bottle just very recently, and I think I am going to move on to another formulation and see whether that works, not one by The Ordinary, and see whether I see any more dramatic improvements. But overall, I think it's a good product, and you should check it out. Okay, product number 2. This is the product that I saw massive difference with when I bought it, and I became like a rep for The Ordinary, it seems, and that is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, oh, for me, changed the game for my skin. That extra moisture really helped. Before I even got onto the niacinamide, really helped me to be able to balance the oil of my skin. I think my skin was also just a little bit dehydrated, as it can be sometimes for oily skin people. So if you strip it too much, if it's not got enough moisture in it, it goes into kind of a protective mode of producing too much oil. So I think that's what happened to me. And because I was trying, lots of skincare here, there and everywhere, but once I got hyaluronic acid in my life, my skin calmed down, it balanced, I saw oil reduction, my skin felt plumper, more lively, more juicy. There are 2 hyaluronic acid formulations by The Ordinary. There is the standard one, and then there's the marine hyaluronics, which is formulated from marine ingredients. I prefer the original one than the marine hyaluronics, and I've tried them both. The marine one is very thin. It's literally like water. So I don't feel like it gives me, I don't know what that is. I don't feel like it gives me some juice, some nourishment to my face, whereas I think the original formulation does. But I know some people don't like the original formulation because for them that feels too heavy on their skin. For me, it feels beautiful, and that's the reason I like that. So for this, I think I would definitely put it in the good category, something definitely for you to check out. I love it. That being said, I discovered another product from The Ordinary, and I talked about this in my empties video just recently, and that is the Buffet Serum. I think that's my holy grail product from the entire Ordinary line, the Buffet Serum. She's just packed full of all kinds of goodies, and I won't ramble too much because I said a lot in my last video, but the hydration, nourishment, plumpness that I kind of notice in my skin when I use the Buffet Serum is second to none. Second to none. Love it. And I actually said in that video, and it's still true, that once I discovered the Buffet, I actually started to put aside my hyaluronic acid and just use the Buffet because it already has hyaluronic acid formulated in it, and only if I need super hydration because maybe I've over stripped my face or I've put too much treatment on it and it's a little bit dehydrated and feeling very sensitive, then I would focus on adding even more hydration with the hyaluronic acid. But as it stands now, I think the Buffet is perfect. Get you some. The last product I want to talk about in terms of hydration is squalene. Squalene is, I actually don't really know what squalene is. To me, it feels like an oil, but it's an ingredient that really helps hydration and helps seal in hydration. I decided to incorporate it into my evening routine as just out of curiosity. I think I was reading a lot about it and I just wanted to know, what is it about this that people really love? I'd say this is in the category. It's not something that I would die without in my routine, but it definitely is, it's okay to have in my routine. I think definitely if you have more dehydrated and dry skin, you would love squalene a lot. I think because I have a lot of oil naturally in my skin, I don't see a massive difference with squalene. So I have a bottle now that I'm actually finishing, and then after that I think I'll try a different kind of facial oil or something to kind of help me seal in. So I was basically using it right at the end of my nighttime skincare routine. So I'll do cleanse, tone, whatever serums I wanted to put on, and then I would seal everything in with the squalene. I think that sealing in helps, but I haven't seen anything groundbreaking for me. But just remember that's because I have oily skin. If you have dry skin, you might really love that. While I'm on squalene, let me also talk about the Rosehip oil. It's 100% cold pressed, which helps retain all of the goodies inside the bottle. And also the bottle for the Rosehip, as you can see, comes like it's brown, so it's UV protected. It helps it kind of not deteriorate over time. So Rosehip is supposed to be amazing for, of course, nourishment. It's an oil, seals everything in, but specifically for helping dark marks and any kind of scarring fade over time. I used a different Rosehip brand years ago that I really liked. I got from a chemist somewhere and I can't remember what the brand was. But when I used Rosehip most recently, I don't think I was concentrating on the effect of it on reducing my dark marks. I might go back to it just to double check and see. But I remember it being nice, but I don't remember it being groundbreaking for me. But I do know people who like swear by Rosehip in terms of hyperpigmentation, acne marks and dark marks on their face. So I think it's one of those just to kind of try and see how it works with your skin. And it's also, I think, better suited, or at least it's kind of talked about in that way, better suited to oilier, more mature skins. But I think, hey, you can never start looking after your skin too young, so go for it, give it a go. Alright, switching up tack now and moving on to all things active. I'm talking about the vitamin C's, I'm talking about exfoliating acids, I'm talking about retinoids. This is where I think I have had a mixed bag of fruit as comes to the products that I've used from The Ordinary. So I think for me, the things like the hydration, the niacinamide and all those other things, none of them were terrible. And I think all of them could be incorporated into the skin because they aren't active. So they just kind of complement whatever else you've got going on in your routine. With the active products, I think this is where you really have to try and see what will work for you personally on a personal level, and also take it easy. Don't be buying 10 of these actives and trying to throw them into your routine all at once, because it will jack up your skin. Olivia told you so, so if you do it and you jack up your skin, it wasn't my fault. Okay, let's start off with one that I would consider to be the ugly, and this one is going to be so controversial because I know so many people love and swear by this serum, but it is, for me, remember that, for me, the vitamin C 23% suspension. So it's a vitamin C serum that it has 23% L-ascorbic acid in it, and L-ascorbic acid is basically the pure form of vitamin C. It's a suspension because the L-ascorbic acid is literally suspended in this lotion, and as you apply it, you basically are applying pure form vitamin C to your skin. Now, I've only gone through, I think, 1 tube of this vitamin C, but a couple of things I think that I have to caution before I explain why I don't think it was for me, and I would categorize it in the bad. Take it easy with this vitamin C, particularly if you haven't used any kind of exfoliating acid on your skin before, particularly if you haven't used any kind of vitamin C on your skin before, because that L-ascorbic acid is pure. Like, you will feel, your face will tingle, your face will feel like it's not burning. It shouldn't feel like it's burning because that's definitely bad, but you will definitely feel an intense tingle on your skin when you first use it. And also work your tolerance up. So don't start, you know, twice a day, every day using this and you haven't used it before. Start 2 or 3 evenings a week. Yeah, just like that. Space it out, give your skin time to breathe. Add in some hydration in there as well so that your skin can repair its skin barrier and it's not just dehydrated completely. And use sunscreen. When I first started using this, I actually really enjoyed it as a product. I enjoyed the tingle actually because I was like, oh yeah, this is it, it's working. But over time, and over time I think I did start to see a difference in terms of brightening. So vitamin C, that's its like main goal, is to brighten and give your skin kind of like a healthy glow, from kind of like a glow from within kind of a thing. It did that. But for me, and this is the bit where I'm talking about it being subjective, for me, over time, I actually realized that it was giving me blackheads. So I had, you know, tiny little blackheads, and I was like, where are these blackheads coming from? So I did a little bit of research online, and I found that for some people, vitamin C formulations can result in you getting blackheads, and that is 100% what my experience was. So I just stopped using it. I was like, this isn't worth it. This is exactly why my skin is breaking out. And so I just put it to the side. I don't even think I finished that tube. I think I just ended up throwing it out. So I was a bit disappointed because I could see the glow benefits that I was getting from it. But in the end, I had to kind of do that trade-off, right? Do I want glowing skin, but then I'm going to have glowing skin with blackheads, so actually, maybe not. But again, a lot of you swear by that product, so if it's working for you, don't get put off, continue using it, and you'll be grand. Okay, so sticking to glow, a product that I have absolutely loved from The Ordinary is the Glycolic Toning Solution, 7%. It is, what I just kept reading online, you know, everybody, that you should ditch scrubs and start using physical exfoliants and move to chemical exfoliants. This was completely new for me because I would use a scrub once in a while to kind of just give myself that refresh on my skin. And I was like, oh, there's something such as chemical exfoliants, okay. But of course, I was very daunted because I was like, I mean, the name just seems very scary, but everything is made from chemicals, so it's just, as opposed to physical exfoliation, there is chemical exfoliation. I picked this up to try because basically everything I read online was talking about glycolic acid being this kind of gold standard. It's like the best that you could ever do for your skin in terms of chemical exfoliation. So I picked it up. Here. Caution, word of caution. If you're going to use this, same as the vitamin C, please, please, please take your time. Start off slow. Use it 2 or 3 times a week, maximum, you know, build up your tolerance to it because this will sting your skin. You're going to put this on and you're going to be like, you will feel that. But it does what it says on the tin. You will get the exfoliation that you need in your life. As in, after a couple of times of using this, your skin will be like, and you'll be like, what? I never knew my skin could be so smooth. Yes, it works. I love it. I recommend it. But of course, with the word of caution that take your time, take it easy. And of course, don't forget to use a sunscreen. Actually, I'm going to just stop repeating that. Just from this point on, anything that I'm talking about, make sure you're using a sunscreen because they're all actives and they will sensitize your skin to the sun. Whether you're indoors, whether you're outdoors, please use it daily. The next product I want to talk about is alpha arbutin. I hope that's how you pronounce it. And The Ordinary have alpha arbutin in 2 formulations. There's one that is formulated just on its own with hyaluronic acid, and then there's one that's formulated with ascorbic acid. So I've tried them both. Alpha arbutin, by the way, is supposed to help with hyperpigmentation. It basically has an ingredient in it that limits the chemical that makes your skin darker. So if you apply it to target areas, you should see over time and consistent use, you should see a reduction in pigment in that area. Say if you've got dark marks, like I usually have dark marks across my cheeks, and then I've got quite a dark neck in comparison to my body and my face, I might want to use it there. Or, you know, if you've had a really bad breakout and your face is just looking dull and dark, you might want to consider alpha arbutin. So I've used both formulations, and I think of the two, I prefer the one that comes with the ascorbic acid. I found that unlike the other vitamin C, I didn't struggle with blackheads with the liquid formulation of this with the alpha arbutin, and I saw, I think, added benefits with the alpha arbutin than with the ascorbic acid than on its own. I don't think I saw a major difference with the regular alpha arbutin, so for that one I'd say yeah, put it in the middle category. But I think I would also put the ascorbic acid and alpha arbutin combination in the middle category. It's not one that I like absolutely have to have in my routine, but I enjoyed what it did for my face when I was using it. So that's something to weigh up. Consider whether you want to have it with the vitamin C or not. And if that's really a target area for you in terms of what you want to tackle with your skin. Okay, so the final product that I want to talk about is a retinoid, and this is the Ordinary's Granactive Retinoid 2% Emulsion. So some of the Ordinary formulations for the retinoids come in squalene, and some of them are an emulsion. I can't remember what made me choose the emulsion, but it's the one that I went for. And I've seen really good results with this. I was very cautious about using retinoids and retinols because as much as they are hailed as this amazing ingredient, I think they were first kind of hailed for their anti-aging properties, and I hadn't really done enough research on them to understand why I would want to incorporate them into my routine. But then I realized that they also could do other things in terms of tackling acne. They could do other things in terms of resurfacing the skin and having it basically just look better. So I tried it. When I first tried it, I used it as a spot treatment because I was too scared to use it all over my face. And so when I would get a pimple, I would literally just apply, like cleanse my face in the evening, blah, blah, blah. And then I would apply the emulsion like a spot treatment. So say I had a spot here, I would put it on, and if I had another one there, then I would put it on there, and then I would basically go to sleep. In the morning when I woke up, I'm like, this has dried out my spots, like my skin looks amazing. So then I was like, okay, I kind of carried on that for a little while just to make sure that I was seeing what I was seeing, which I was. And then I was like, okay, now let me try this kind of like on my face. So I would use it just kind of here along my cheeks to see whether I would see any difference, along my T-zone. Yes. Used it here on my forehead. Then I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. So I think it is an amazing product, but as with everything that I've talked about in this category, start slow, see how your skin reacts, and also be kind to your skin. Give it as much hydration as you can. So make sure you're using a hydrating cleanser, one that doesn't overly strip your skin. Make sure you're using a toner that is hydrating also, that isn't stripping your skin. Use a good moisturizer to kind of seal everything in, or an oil to kind of lock everything in. If you do that for your skin, then I think you can really get the benefits from all of these kind of exfoliating things and the retinoids as well. So 2 more products that I want to talk about. Number 1 is salicylic acid. So the Ordinary has a salicylic acid serum. I didn't like it. Yeah, I think I'm just getting there. I didn't like it. I just didn't see anything to write home about. I don't think I saw any significant difference to my skin. And because I didn't, I just kind of put it to the side. Some people really like it, some people it really works for them. I've heard really good things though about the salicylic acid cleansers. And I think a lot of different brands are coming out with those now. CeraVe has had one for a while. The Ordinary recently just made one. Inky List has one. So maybe that kind of formulation would work better for me. But as a serum on a standalone, it just wasn't there for me. And then the final product I want to talk about is the AHA BHA peeling solution. Love that stuff. Let's end it on a high. Absolutely love that stuff. It's that red liquid that you see people putting on their face. It looks like their face is bleeding. I was also very terrified when I first used it. It's powerful. Again, maximum 2 to 3 times a week. As a mask, please follow the directions. Only use it for 10 minutes. So it has a combination of AHA and BHA, which tackles basically resurfacing your skin. I don't know if the BHA part works for me because that's salicylic acid, but the AHA part really does it. So if I feel like my skin is very congested and it just needs a little bit of an extra lift, that's when I'll turn to that. My first bottle I used very, very consistently in terms of 2 to 3 times a week. Like, I was very regular with it. Now I think my skincare routine is in a place where I don't necessarily need it so often. So I use it basically as a pick-me-up. So when I just realise that my skin's looking a little bit dull, it doesn't have enough life in it, then I'll reach for that. I actually also do that with the retinoid that I mentioned. I kind of use that as a little bit of a pick-me-up to kind of boost my skin and elevate it. So that's probably how I would suggest for you to use it, particularly if you're new to it. Just take it easy, try it out and see. There is definitely a massive tingle. It will sting your face. Just make sure you follow the instructions, 10 minutes, wash it off, go in with all your nice juicy hydrating products after that, and then wake up in the morning and honestly, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you found it informative and useful. Some of these products you may have already used, love, hate, or whatever. If you're brand new to The Ordinary, I hope that gave you an idea of where you may want to go. But leave me a comment down below, let's chat. Ask me a few questions. I'd be happy, of course, to answer as always. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.